Hi all, welcome back to the video lecture session on finance management. Here, in case of finance management, already you have discussed cost of capital, valuation of bond, introduction part regarding the financial management, then financial environment, mergers and acquisition. That means already through these video lecture sessions, we have covered up through LMS, we have covered up 90% of the syllabus, just one part available. So here, before go to that available part, it's better to have some practice questions in case of the things which have been discussed up to now through this lecture session. Okay, so today I am going to discuss one past paper question. I think it's 2018 past paper question number 3 regarding cost of capital. Okay, so let's discuss that. Ensoft PLC is a software development company and its main business activities operate in Colombo City area. The company's capital structure has been given ordinary shares, ordinary shares 60 million, retained earnings 5 million, irredeemable preference shares. In case of preference shares, you may remind that redeemable preference shares and the irredeemable preference shares, here it's available. Irredeemable preference shares, share price also has been given per share value 10 rupees. Then irredeemable debentures 100 each, 8% interest also have been given in case of preference shares and debentures. Then here through this we can have an idea. Here we have been given the value of the ordinary share as 6 million. Then per share value is 10. Then simply we can calculate the number of ordinary shares. If we need number of ordinary shares, we can calculate this value. That means 60 million divided by 10. Okay, 60 million divided by 10. Then we can get number of preference shares. Then number is 6 million ordinary shares. Then retained earning concept already you have discussed. As students who have discussed deeply the financial accounting, no need to discuss the concept like retained earnings again. The number of irredeemable shares also can be calculated. 4.5 million can be divided by per value is 10. Here number of debentures also can be calculated. 1.8 million divided by per debenture value 100. So just for the information. Okay. The current market prices of the shares, current market prices, that means simply you may remind the P0 values in case of our equations. Company shares 30 rupees and 18 rupees respectively for ordinary shares and preference shares. That means market value. This is book value, this is market value. These are book values, that means these are the market values. Book value 10, market value nowadays, recent value, which is going to trade in the market is 30. Then preference shares, it's 18. When it's become book value of preference share, it's 10. Market value 18. The company's last year dividend, that means D0, was rupees 2 per ordinary share, and dividend has been growing at compound interest rate 6% per annum. That now you should have an idea. If we need to value these bonds, we can adapt dividend drawing model. Then a debenture of company have a current market price of rupees 60 and 100 debentures in nominal value. The rate of tax, here it should be R, there's a printing mistake. Rate of corporate tax is 30%. Prepare the table indicating each finance source, their cost and weighted average cost of capital. Okay, here it's asked. Today I am going to discuss up to here. Next session I will discuss this sum. Now, you know, we discussed the way of this, solving this type of questions. So now we have identified the content of our capital structure, ordinary shares, preference shares and debentures. So first of all, what we need to do is, we need to calculate cost of capital belongs to each source. Okay, belongs to each source. That means cost of capital for ordinary shares, cost of capital for preference shares, and cost of capital for debentures we need to calculate. Okay, so first of all, let's see how to calculate cost of ordinary share capital. Cost of ordinary share capital. Here, when we go through the cost of ordinary shares, calculate the cost of ordinary shares, we discussed some models. In here, I am not going to discuss those things deeply. When you go through the available details, as it is available in the information, the dividend is going to has been drawing at compound rate of 6%. Then you should know here more. You should have that ability to understand. In this scenario, we have to adopt dividend growth model. So here, cost of ordinary share capital, let's say KS, equals dividend growth model equation. I am not going to discuss these things deeply as my previous session. In my previous session, I discussed these things deeply. D1 divided by P0 plus G. Here, D1, we don't know the D1, but we know the company's last year dividend was 2 rupees. That means D0. We know the D0. Then we can calculate D1. How? D1 equals D0 1 plus G. Here D0 2 rupees, it has been given last year dividend 2 rupees. Then 1 plus G, G means constant growth rate 6%. Then it can be calculated. D1 can be calculated. How? Two into 1 plus G 6%, 0.06. That is the D1. Then value is D1 2.12. Then P0 market value has been given 30 rupees. That is the P0 value. G has been given 6%. Then we can adapt this equation. D1 we calculated 2 into 1.06, then the value is 2.12 is the D1 divided by P0 market value 30 rupees. Let's say here also rupees D1, then plus G 0.06. 0.06. Then we can get the answer 2.12 divided by 30 into plus 0.06. Then answer is 13.07%. This is the value of ordinary cost of ordinary share capital in this sum. Then next source is, I will come to the point retained earnings in when we are preparing the table. Our next source of capital is preference shares, that is irredeemable preference shares. When you are discussing the preference shares, when you are discussing the calculation of cost of preference shares, I explained in my previous video, there are mainly two types of preference shares, redeemable and irredeemable. When it becomes redeemable, we have to calculate IRR value as the cost of capital. When it becomes irredeemable, here we have to adopt the equation. As here it is going to be irredeemable, then simple equation we discussed. What is the equation? KP, cost of preference shares, equals D0 divided by P0. KP, cost of preference shares, equals D0 divided by P0. Then in this sum, D0, where's D0? D0. Let's see in the, let's check it in the, yes, here. What say? When it's become preference shares, they are going to pay 9% dividend per share. Then D0 can be calculated how? For 10%, no, for 10 rupees value, book value share, they are going to pay 9%. Then D0 can be calculated 10 into 0.10 into 0.9. No, 0.09. 10 into 0.09. Okay. Then it's 10 0.9 rupees. That means 90 cents. Cents සතවලින් කියොත් එහෙම සත 90ක ලාභාංශයක් තමයි ගෙවන්නේ. එතකොට මා මේකේ book value එක 100 මම ගිය සතියේ අන්තිම session එකේදී කිව්වා percentage preference shares එනකොට පොරොන්දු වෙන ගානම ගෙවනවා. එතකොට 100ට 9යි. ඒ 100ට 9 ගුණ කරනවා book value එකෙන් preference share එක. Then P0, market value of this share. Market value of this share, preference shares has been given as 18 rupees. Then P0 equals to 18. Then D0 value 0.9 rupees, let's say LKR, divided by P0 value, market value 18 rupees. Okay, then cost of preference shares we can calculate 5%. Now we calculated cost of ordinary shares, we got the answer 13.07. Cost of preference shares, we got the answer 5%. Then next source of capital is, now this part okay, this part okay, this part no. Irredeemable debentures. In the previous session, I discussed when it become debentures. Previous session means cost of capital part. In case of debentures, we are having two types of debentures, redeemable and irredeemable. Again, when it's become redeemable debentures, again we can divide it into two categories. Debentures which are having market value and debentures which are not having market value. I discussed those things deeply. You can go through that video session. Here, when it's become irredeemable debentures, we discuss the equation cost of debentures equals K 1 minus P divided by P0. Here K, paid interest payment 8% for 100. That means we can calculate that K 100 into 8%, that means 8 rupees interest we are going to pay as a firm to that debenture holder. That is the value of K. Then K 8 rupees. 1 minus T means tax rate, as interest expenses are tax deductible. Here we have to adjust the tax value. Here it's 30%, that means 0.3 tax rate 0.3. Then market value. What about the market value? Yes. Company have current price of 60 and 100 in nominal value. 100 in nominal value. Current have debenture of the company have and current market price of 60 and 100 in nominal value. That means market price is 100. Here it is not clear here. Let's assume market price as 100. Then here it is 100. Then you can get the answer 5.6. Let's check this. Okay, let's check this. Some doubt is there because it is not clear. The wordings are not clear. Okay, that's the case. Let's check. Sometimes when you are uploading to this blogspot, it can be happen. I will check and I will put such comments in the LMS in future. Okay. Then that's all. Now we have calculated cost of ordinary shares, cost of preference shares, and the cost of debentures. Now, finally, they are asking Prepare a table indicating percentages of each finance sources, their cost and weight, average cost of capital based on the market values. Then let's prepare a table. And we draw a table by using this. We can write here. It is not clear. It is difficult to draw. I will count. 8. I will upload this Excel sheet to the LMS. It is available. Now you can see in the sum, market value of ordinary shares. How did we get this market value of ordinary shares? Okay. Here, book value have been given as, go through this equation of this particular cell. Book value has been given, okay, 60 million in the sum. No, then cost of per share is 10 rupees. Then we can calculate, I discussed how to calculate the cost of ordinary share. Then it can be multiplied by per share market value 30 rupees. Per share market value 30 rupees. It's 1. But here, when it's become retained earnings, yes, in the sum, a value is available. In the sum, if you go to the paper, a value is available. But keep in mind, for retained earnings, there is no any market value. Simply, ordinary shares we can sold in a secondary market, but retained earnings we cannot sold in the market. Therefore, we cannot add the value to here. So, if we are preparing this table based on the market value, so there is no any value for retained earnings. Okay. Then preference shares also you can calculate. How to calculate? First of all, you have to calculate number of preference shares. For that, what you can do is total book value you can divide by the per share book value. Then you can multiply that answer by per share market value. In case of debentures also you can adapt same way. Then you can get the total value of the market value, total market value of all these sources. Okay. Then, as we practiced in the last session, you can calculate weight belongs to each and every source. Weight belongs to each and every source. How can you calculate the weight? What you need to do is, here, when it's become, as an example, ordinary share, total market value of all these sources we have identified. Market value of ordinary share also we have identified. So to calculate the weight, what need to be done is, market value of ordinary shares need to divide by total market value of all these sources. Then you can get this answer. It's around 95%. මොකද කරන්න ඕනේ? අපි අඳුරගෙන තියෙනවා සමස්තයක් වශයෙන් මේ sources ඔක්කොගේම market value එක. අපි අඳුරගෙන තියෙනවා සාමාන්‍ය කොටසක market value එක. එහෙනම් සාමාන්‍ය කොටසක market value එක බෙදනවා. සාමාන්‍ය කොටස් වල market value එක වෙළඳපොළාගේ බෙදනවා. මේ ඔක්කොම sources වල market value එකෙන්. එතකොට අයන්න ගන්න පුළුවන් weight එක. As like that, you can calculate the market value for preference shares, market value for debentures. Then finally, if you get the total, if you are correct, the calculations are correct, you can get the total 100%. Here in the LMS, we have uploaded this Excel sheet, so it's simply you can identify the way of get to these answers. Okay, so it's better go through this Excel sheet. Then cost of capital. We have identified, we calculate the cost of capital for ordinary shares, for preference shares and debentures. Keep in mind, retained earnings, ordinary shares belongs to the owners of the firm. Retained earnings also belongs to the owners of the firm. Therefore, we can say cost of ordinary shares equals to the cost of retained earnings. But here, for ordinary shares, we are having market value, but retained earnings, we are not having market value. But for displaying purpose, here we can put the ordinary shares value, cost of ordinary shares value. Then cost of preference shares, we calculated the value, that one we can put, it's 5%. Then cost of debentures, we calculated the value, you can put. Then weighted average cost of capital can be calculated. Weight into the cost of capital of particular source. Weight into the cost of capital in the particular source. Then you can get these values. End of the day, the total can be get here. Weighted average cost of capital of ordinary shares plus weighted average cost of capital of retained earnings, here 0, plus weighted average cost of capital of preference shares plus weighted average cost of capital of the debentures. The total value is the weighted average cost of capital of the firm. Okay, so go through the paper and go through this Excel sheet, go through my lecture session, previously uploaded lecture session regarding the cost of capital. Then it may be easy. You can expect this type of questions in the final paper. If you go through the past previous papers, you can identify that trend, how you can come the next paper. Okay, that's all. Hope to join with you some practice questions in future.